most famous physical therapist on the internet.
Hi there, folks. I'm Bob Schupp, physical therapist.
Brad Heineck, physical therapist.
Together we are the most famous physical therapists on the internet.
In our opinion, of course, Bob.
Today we're going to talk about kinesio taping, best how-to hacks for at-home K-taping, which is kinesio taping. Stop pain and swelling on all body parts.
That's right, Bob. This is a comprehensive video so that you can learn how to do this no matter what part instead of just picking out the knee or the hip or the shoulder.
All right, by the way, if you're new to our channel, please take a second to subscribe to us. We provide videos how to stay healthy, fit, pain-free, and we upload every day. Also, go to bobandbrad.com, go to the giveaway section. We're giving away a beauty this week. We're giving away a Sleepovation mattress. This is just a sample of one. You can also find the contest on Facebook. It'll be pinned to the top of the page. Go to Twitter, Instagram, or TikTok if you want a 60-second version of our program.
And don't miss our podcasts now. They're coming out. We've got some outstanding interviews.
Yes.
Yep.
So this is a Sleepovation mattress. It's got 700 individual mattresses. Yours won't come like this. It'll be covered.
We counted them.
Yeah, we counted them. We made sure they were on the up and up. It's also got air channels, so it keeps it kind of cool. It's really good for pain control. If you have a pain issue like back pain or knee pain or
and you might oversleep with it because it is hard to get out in the morning because it's comfortable. Okay, Bob, should we continue on?
Let's continue.
Kinesio taping.
Right.
So both of you are familiar with it with our work in the physical therapy world. It started in the 70s by Dr. Kinesio. I'm not sure if I got that. Kosa. I believe he's from Japan.
Sure.
And since then, it kind of took a while to get going, but it really made a big debut in 1988 Seoul Olympics.
I remember this.
You do?
I do.
Yeah, it's like people have got this.
All the athletes had it on.
Colorful tape.
Colorful tape on.
Yep. So, and since then, it wasn't just a fad that came and left. It's continued to be used oftentimes by high-level athletes, but, people like you or I can benefit from it. So, and it can be done at home. You can do it yourself. Sure. Okay. But you're not just going to go buy some Kinesio tape and put it on.
Slap it on.
Right. There's definitely
there's absolutely you got to do it correctly.
Yep.
Yes.
There's a skill, art, and a little practice that comes. But you can do it. What I'm going to recommend, or Bob and I are going to recommend, if you do it, you can go on YouTube. I've gone on YouTube. I've watched videos. A 10-minute video, it'll give you just the start. Right. You really should get into it and understand it. And so we've got this book. As you know, we do promote books for self-education as well as our videos. This is by
John
Gibbons.
Yes.
Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Okay, so good. Anyways, John's been taping for 25 years. Started in 1996. He works with high-level athletes, Olympic athletes. I believe he's from the UK. And just a wonderful guy.
I watched some of his videos. I didn't even know that, we'd received this book.
Yep.
And I didn't know it was him. And I went on the internet and caught some of his videos.
Sure.
He does a really good job.
Sure.
Really excellent. I've always been a little bit skeptical about kinesio tape, but he turned me around. I mean,
we got a video on K-taping about 5 or 6 years ago, and we're a little negative on it.
Yeah, we didn't like the research at that time. But now, the way he's using it, a lot of it, we've been doing that type of taping before.
Right. Yep.
We just used a different tape.
I think it's evolved.
It's evolved.
The use of kinesio tape has evolved to more of our liking, so that's good.
Right. Exactly.
All right. So how does it work? Well, anyways, so the book, what you'll want to do is, it's not a hard, big book, obviously. Right. It's a little bit technical, so you're going to have to take your time as far as anatomy. As far as for PTs, physical therapy assistants, anybody in the medical field that's already familiar with anatomy, it's perfect for them.
Sure.
You'll go through it quickly. If not, you got to take your time with that. But, don't.
Well, what helps, Brad, is you can actually go to the video, right? You just actually.
Right. So say, for example, you want to do on this one, the heel. What do you call these little?
What's it called, Tanner? What do you?
The squatches, you scan it and it. Our expert doesn't even know.
Yeah.
Anyways, you take your phone, you scan that, and it'll take you directly
Right to the video.
The video. So
Right.
you're going to get information here on paper as well as a video. But you really need to spend some time in the front of the book when he talks about
The
how
whole
it works.
philosophy
Yep,
and-
and
right.
how it works. It's not going to take long.
Yeah.
So I'll go through that briefly. There's 4 keys that I feel why it works, and one is called lifting.
Sure.
The tape actually is stretchy. I'm going to take one piece off here, and it stretches. And there's a specific amount of elasticity it has. It only stretches one way. You can't stretch it this way.
Sure.
It only goes one way.
Lengthwise.
Yep, and that's critical. It has to be a tape like that, and it's like a cotton mesh, and that may be different. I'm not sure on all the
From tape to tape.
Yep.
Mhm.
He tells you what he uses.
Sure.
And whatever he uses, I'm sure it's the best. I mean,
Sure.
I'm sure it's great
It's
tape.
like a rock tape.
Yeah,
they
right.
call
That's the
it.
name of it.
Yeah.
So it lifts, which allows lymph flow, which is
Mhm.
just under the skin, which is critical for healing
Yes, it
and
is.
swelling, as well as pain relief. The next thing is mechanical support. It's like when you see someone taped up, you know, in this country, football, you'll see
Right.
it, that white tape all taped up.
For the ankle.
Yep, that's strictly mechanical.
Yes.
So there's nothing else going on. But
To be honest, Brad, I mean, that's what I've used tape for in the past. is
Sure.
mechanical. And the fact that you can use this stuff is even better because the tape I used, if you got hot and sweaty, it would come off.
lets loose. Yeah.
And this you actually ran with it, right?
Well, yeah. Well, I'm going to run with it today.
Sure.
I got a hamstring issue. I biked with it, which I still have symptoms with biking, and I went 11 miles yesterday, which is not a long ride for me, but it's April.
Are you bragging or
No.
what?
It's
Okay.
not. If you're a biker, they'd laugh at me. 11 miles.
Okay. All right.
Anyways, so the mechanical support, and I'll show you. Later on we'll show you how to do an ankle, and then it stimulates muscles
Sure.
by tactile. You know,
Give
you
it-
could
give it
tap a
feedback.
muscle,
Yes.
and it wants to contract. Well, this does a similar
Gotcha.
firing, if you will, of the muscle, slang term, that contraction, and then appearance.
Sure.
You know, he does admit there's
There's something about it.
there's a potential placebo effect in that,
Sure.
which I don't have a problem with that if it works.
If placebo works, it's great.
If you've
It's
studied placebo,
like 30% sometimes,
It
even
works.
higher. Yeah.
it's
Oh.
amazing some of the tests they've done with placebos, but that's another story. All right. So, Bob, should we continue on?
Sure.
Let's look at ankle sprain. So,
Okay.
if you've sprained your ankle and you went in this, before we get to that point, the precautions,
Sure.
you never use it over any skin that's not healthy.
Sure.
It's got to be healthy skin, no rashes, no injuries.
No open skin, obviously.
Exactly.
No wound.
And the other thing is you may be allergic to the adhesive on
Sure.
this. So the first time you use it, if you start to break out red rash or whatever, or itchy, get it off right away. Because I had a patient once that broke out and it wasn't pretty, it was uncomfortable.
Well, what I've had, Brad, is and this has happened more than once, I would tape a knee and I would tape it for weeks on end and it was fine.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden it started to break out.
Oh, long-term use
yeah.
kind of thing?
Yeah.
Yep.
So you've got to keep it, it's not the worst thing. You get itchy and red and you shouldn't take it off and it recovers.
Yeah.
But
And then it's not you
it's
can't
not-
use that.
You can't
Yeah.
use it. Right.
So here we have the tape. I've already opened it up here, and I'll show you that on another thing. I'm going to start here. Let's say my ankle sprain as 90%
Now,
are.
normally, he's going to go into inversion. That's
Yeah.
how he sprained it.
So I want to support it this way. Now I'm going to stretch that tape 75 to 100% stretch. So that's pretty tight.
Yes.
Yep. And I'm going to bring it down. You have to have clean skin. Make sure you've washed up,
Yeah.
dried it, all that. Now it's critical on both ends that the very end, the last inch or so, you put no stretch on it. And that goes across the board every time you use this because that allows the ends.
To stick.
Yep.
Because that, again, my complaint about regular athletic tape,
Yep.
Brad, is it lets loose. I mean, I often what I have to do is I have to actually go put another piece of tape across it
Right.
stop
To lock it in.
To lock it in.
I've done that too.
And now, what are you doing here, Brad? You're heating it up?
Yep, you've got to do this for about 30 seconds to 60 seconds. And you can use the paper. You can use your hands, but the paper allows it slide a little bit better.
Sure.
That heats up from friction, and that allows that adhesive to set into your skin, so you
Gotcha.
have better locking, so it sticks better. If you got it real hairy, you may have to shave to get it
Yeah.
to, you know.
Yeah.
Otherwise, when you pull it off, it will stick. And when you pull it off, it pulls your hairs off, and it sees how tough you really are.
Sure. Yeah.
I'm not going to take the time because I want to get on to the next, but I'm going to take another piece. And the way you don't spend time trying to peel this like this, it's really hard. You just
Rip
pull,
it in the middle.
rip it, and it
yeah,
makes it really easy.
to pull off.
Yep.
Yeah.
And before you do that, you actually cut the corners. So if you see these are rounded, you have to do that manually. You cut that. And that, if you have corners, they tend to catch and peel off.
Yeah. And some of the tapes are pre-cut.
Yep,
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, some are,
Yeah.
are they're lengthwise and they got the curve on them already.
Exactly. And he shows all that in the book.
Sure.
So I'm going to put another piece right there, about a half lap or so. And then I would do, he calls it the eye band, where I'm going to go across this way for a little more support. And if you have particular pain in one spot, oftentimes you're going to put that tape right over the painful spot. And you're going to put stretch on that as well. So make sure your ankle's in neutral, dorsiflex like this when you do it. And I can feel that support already. And my perineals are right under here. Those are the muscles that help support your ankle. And that's another benefit.
Oh, it's a great idea because
Yeah.
it's the muscles you want to stop inversion.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Bring the ankle out.
It's their job. So
Yeah.
we're just helping them out. Let's go to hamstring strain, which I have a mild one right now.
By the way, Brad's wearing my shorts. Sure.
Well, I would never wear shorts
like
like
regular
this.
pants.
Yeah, well, yeah, they're not shorts, they're longs.
Yeah, they're long. There you go.
But I did need to show you, I taped this yesterday afternoon. I went for a bike ride on it, like I had mentioned. Felt great. And I took a shower with it. So it's doing exactly what it's supposed to.
Stays in place.
Yep. Now, the unique thing about when you have a strain, and this is why you really have to be careful and look at the book or his videos. Whether you, on this, you don't stretch the tape, you stretch the muscle.
Sure. And then you put the
Yes.
tape on.
I'm not, so what I did here is I went like this, straight knee, good posture. I got to stretch on the muscle. I'll put the tape here. Again, I'm not stretching the first inch. And on this, you don't stretch it. Maybe a little bit, he says, but not much. And then you bring it all the way back up.
You don't stretch the tape.
Yeah,
okay.
right. But you are
Gotcha.
stretching the muscle.
Sure.
So you put that up all the way up to the ischial tube where the hamstrings, you can't
The
get,
sit bones.
yeah, you can't get that far. It just gets in there. You don't want to do that.
Right.
You'll know how. You put it up as far as you feel comfortable. And then you put two of them on there like you had saw. See, and then you leave it on. He says typically it'll last 2 to 3 days, maybe more. Depends on the quality of tape you have, how clean your skin is, and what
How
you're
much
doing.
you sweat, maybe.
Yeah, when you
right.
take a shower and how much soap and all
Right.
that kind of thing. And lastly, but not leastly, and this is what Bob and I really appreciate.
Yeah, we used to do this all the time
Yeah.
with patients.
And Bob is actually going to undress here a little bit. But this is posture taping. And this can be done for the back, mid-back, low back, the neck, shoulders. And it really works well. We are just all over this from our experience. So in this particular situation, what we're going to do, we're going to use, the color tape is your choice. Purple. He's a Viking fan, so what can I say? I'm not gonna say anything bad about that. Now, the way you do posture is Bob's gonna sit with good posture. Now, pull your shoulders way back. We're not gonna go that far back. We don't want to have wrinkles. And that's kind of exaggerating. So right there, we've got posture. And he has really wide tape, but I don't have any. He says if you don't have that extra wide tape, you can certainly put 2 pieces of tape on there. I didn't cut the corners on this because I didn't want to take the time, but I'm going to split it here like that. I'm going to put it in the middle, stick it here, and then I put that stretch. So I'm going to pull. I didn't make this long enough, but you'll get the idea. I'm going to pull, stretch, and at the end, no stretch, lock it down. And this is why you need practice. You got to get used to how far you're going to put it. Pull, and then no stretch at the end. And there. Now, when he starts to round his shoulders forward, can you do that, Bob? Can you easily feel that
Yes,
tape?
I can.
So,
It's giving me feedback.
yeah, gives you feedback. Oh, I'm rounding.
I'm rounding. I
Yep.
need to straighten back up. It even kind of pulls you back a little bit.
Yep, yeah, absolutely. Now, to get posture rounding this way, we got rounded this way and this way. We put a vertical piece on.
Yeah, so when I round like this now,
Yeah.
it pulls me. And Brad and I used to do this with patients all the time.
Yeah.
And the problem with that is if it got sweaty, it would come all loose.
Right. When you're not using this type of tape, we were using the typical rigid tape, which works well, but it does let loose.
It does let loose.
Yeah, particularly if you don't have, whatever, not clean skin, poor tape. Now, I would put 2 of these on, one here and one here, and then these 2 across, and then it's going to work as a double benefit as far as postural correction. And they're just going to leave that on until it comes off. Again, you may get 3 days or more with that. So,
and it's been my experience. Like I will spend 15 minutes teaching somebody to keep their back straight while they're lifting.
Yep.
And then I watch them go outside, and they reach down to get their purse.
Yep.
And they round out like this.
Right.
That's why I started taping, because as soon as they reach down, I go, "Oh,
yes,
I did something wrong."
Yep. It is probably one of the most effective ways to teach posture.
Feedback.
The
It's
feedback.
constant feedback.
The only problem is you got to have someone put it on,
Yeah.
and then it comes off after a while. But if you want to do it for, say, a week, do it 2 or 3 times, and which will last a week or more. I have a feeling that you're going to have, without the tape, your body has learned muscle memory a little bit. That
Now Brian Mulligan used to take ladies' bras and tie them so they're tight.
Brian Mulligan is, we think he's still alive. He's a therapist from New Zealand, and he's a guru. He has his own system, a worldwide system.
He's quite a character too.
But he is a character, so yeah, he would do off. We might consider it off the wall. I think for him it just makes sense.
Yeah, that was normal, normal behavior. So.
Anyways, yeah. So very good. Again, do your homework at this. You can do it.
The book is called Practical Guide to Kinesiology Taping for Injury Prevention and Medical Conditions by John Gibbons.
John Gibbons, yes. So good.
We'll have a link below.
Get the book. You can do this.
Yeah.
Take your time and do it right.
All right. Thanks.